After almost 4 years, you have done nothing for the drivers. If you want to help them now, we ask you to resign. Do it now.
I will call the first panel. Raul Rivera.
Today I testify before you to express my outrage and deep disappointment at the abject failure of Chair Brooks Powers of the Transportation Committee. Under her leadership, our city's transportation infrastructure has continued to deteriorate, and the needs of hardworking New Yorkers have been consistently ignored. But Chair Brooks Powers' failure is not an isolated incident. It is symptomatic of a broader systemic problem that permeates the highest levels of our city's government. That's why I'm calling for the resignation of TLC Commissioner David Doe and DOT Commissioner Idanis Rodriguez. Commissioner Doe's tenure at the TLC has been marked by a lack of transparency, inadequate oversight, and a failure to protect the rights of hardworking TLC drivers. His inability to address the scourge of illegal pirate vehicles has put countless lives at risk and undermined the livelihoods of law-abiding drivers. Commissioner Rodriguez's leadership at the DOT has been equally disastrous. His failure to maintain our city roads, his inability to address e-bikes, and his anti-car policies, including monetizing our city for nonprofits like Transportation Alternatives and Open Plans, big tech companies like Uber, Lyft, Getaround, Zipcar, and City Bike. Mr. Rodriguez's lack of vision for a sustainable transportation future has made our city streets more dangerous, more congested, and less livable. We deserve better. We deserve leaders who will prioritize our safety, our livelihoods, and our well-being. That's why I'm calling for the resignation of Commissioner Doe and Rodriguez, and for Chair Brooks Powers to step down as chair of the Transportation Committee. It is time for a change. It is time for leadership that will put the needs of New Yorkers. We can do better, and we must do better. Thank you.
Mr. Rivera, what organization do you represent? Turn your mic on, please.
Myself and NYC Drivers Unite.
NYC Drivers United?
It's just a name. We're not signed up as a nonprofit. We don't ask.
So you're not a formal organization?
We don't ask for money. We're not a nonprofit.
So you're not registered with the Attorney General's office or anything? You're not an organization?
That's done on purpose.
So who do you...
I'm surprised you're asking questions. You never asked questions
I have
before.
questions today.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not done. So in terms of who you represent, could you give me an idea of how many people are a member of your organization?
About 300.
300?
Yes.
Okay. And what does the org comprise of? What type of people in industry?
They're all TLC drivers. In order to join the group, all you have to do is have a TLC license. That's it.
And are you a TLC driver?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a current TLC license?
Yes, fully licensed.
Okay, because I recall in past testimony you said that you lost your ability to be a driver.
No. I have a license.
And it's current?
It's active, yes.
Okay.
And if I didn't have a license, I can still advocate. You know that, right?
You can advocate. I just want to understand who you represent, because you come into this hearing every time and talk about who's represented by where, but we never have full line of sight of who you represent, because I only ever see you.
You know who I am, Powers.
I know who you are, Raul.
I've been here.
That's what I'm saying. I know who you are, but you come in here and you say that you represent a group that I have not seen.
Right.
You tell me that I do not meet, excuse me, you tell me that I do not meet with drivers when I have had several meetings with active drivers in my district office. You also accuse me of not being willing to meet with you, and my staff has spoke to you countless times and asked you to fill out the same required documentation as everybody else, yet you fail to submit it, but continue to attack me and say I do not meet with you, and that is not true.
No, we know that you met with us. You gave us a 20-minute Zoom meeting in 2020.
I'm not even talking about that. I was willing to meet with you in person.
You're not doing it.
Because you are not submitting the
Why don't
request.
you sit down with us?
You have not submitted the request form.
I sent you like 4 emails.
You have not. My staff.
What request form?
Raul,
you didn't ask for it in the past.
Have you received an email from my scheduler with a list of questions?
Yes, but
Have you responded to those questions to my scheduler?
I did. Yes, I did.
No, you did not.
Well, she's not responding. Which question?
She sent you an email of questions, which you yourself on social media said that it's not fair that I send those questions, even though everybody who meets with me answers the same thing.
Listen.
Who am I meeting with? You are coming with other people to meet, and we have to make sure we have the sufficient office space to make sure people can sit there. You continue to do propaganda and make accusations against me.
Don't say that about me. I do not do propaganda.
I'm going to say that about you because you say it about me, and it's untrue. What I'm saying is, and I'm saying it on the record publicly, I have been willing to meet with you in person. When you see me on the street and you run up on me every time, I have stopped to speak to you. Okay, so I'm not scared to speak to you, but you cannot continue to do this.
Nobody's saying you're scared.
Let me finish. I am willing to meet with you, but you must follow the proper steps and protocol, and then we will have that meeting.
Yeah, but you're changing it up.
I have not changed it up. I have one line of email that every single person that requests to meet with me gets the same email.
That's false, because when we had the first meeting, you didn't request that.
When we had the first meeting, I was a new council member.
You was a council member.
I was a new council member.
Regardless,
we are 4 years later. For the last 2.5, 3 years, we've been using the same form.
What's the big deal? You know who I am. I can bring 5 drivers.
Raul,
I can bring 50 drivers.
I just answered, but I appreciate you coming and advocating, and I thank you for your testimony. And again, if you would like to meet with me, I would like you to respond to that email.
No, we already tried. You had your chance.
Okay, so then you said you're not going to do it.
What we want is for you to resign. That's what we want. We want you to leave. That's what we want. And when you win re-election, you're going to win re-election because nobody's running against you.
Thank you, Raul.
4 years. You've been a council member 4 years.
Thank you, Raul.
How come it took so long? You know about.
We'll be